Top-end specs come with a hefty price tag. A lower price tag means having to settle for lower specs. This is a common conception that Chinese newcomer OnePlus wants to break with their first phone, the One. Never settle. That's the tagline here. Top flagship killer specs with a low to mid-range price tag is what they aim to deliver. So do they? Well, that's what we aim to find out in this video. So if this is your first time here or if you're too preoccupied hunting for invites, my name is Ash and you're watching C4E Tech. Let's get started. As always, let's start with the built-in design. To the left, we have the volume rockers and micro SIM card slot. To the top, a secondary noise cancelling microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack. To the right, the power button, and at the bottom, we have the dual speakers, primary microphone, and a USB OTG supporting micro USB 2.0 port. To the front, on top, we have a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, sensors, notification LED, and the earpiece. Lower below, the Japan display made 5.5-inch Full HD IPS display, and below that, the familiar capacitive menu, home, and back keys. These can be turned off in favor of on-screen keys, but we'll get to that in the software part of this video. To the back, we have a slightly raised 13-megapixel rear camera with a dual LED flash that sits encased in metal, yet another microphone, and lower below the OnePlus branding. At the bottom, the devices that ship with Cyanogen mod on board have a Cyanogen logo. OnePlus One that sells in China ships with ColorOS instead, but converting these to the Cyanogen mod edition is a very simple process. I've done that. You're seeing Cyanogen mod 11S running on this OnePlus One. I even have a tutorial on the conversion process and I'll leave a link to that tutorial right below the like button in the description. Anyway, moving on from the OnePlus One supply issues, the OnePlus One feels solidly built. It's a big device, no doubt about it. It's 8.9mm thick and weighs in at over 160 grams. This means one-handed usage is not going to be easy. But the curved back and the assortment of back covers that OnePlus is going to be selling make sure everyone's going to have something that they're comfortable with. And yeah, the back seats are replaceable. Take the SIM tray out and you can work the back cover off. Anyway, let's now move on to the display. The Gorilla Glass 3 covered 5.5-inch Full HD IPS display on the OnePlus One gives it a pixel density of 401 pixels per inch. While the blacks aren't the best that we've seen, color reproduction's natural, viewing angles are great, the display is quite bright and does well outdoors. Moving on, underneath the hood, the OnePlus One packs a Snapdragon 801 chipset. This means 4 Krait 400 cores clocked at 2.5 GHz each, coupled with an Adreno 330 GPU clocked at 578 MHz and 3 gigs of RAM. It's worth noting that while the OnePlus One is available in flavors of 16 and 64 gigs, unlike with other manufacturers, both variants do ship with 3 gigs of RAM on board. As you can see, the OnePlus One benchmarks very well and it also translates to real day-to-day scenarios like gaming, where it performs almost flawlessly. Intensive games ran smooth, the frame rates were steady, no lag, no frames dropped. The audio quality is also good. The internal speakers are very loud. It's also worth noting that the OnePlus One doesn't ship with any earphones included, probably due to the price. We also tested this unit with a Miz A7 III Classics, and the audio output was very good. Crisp and clear audio. And yes, these are made out of real wood. And if you do want to pick up a pair, you can do that from mizeheadphones.com. I'll leave a direct link down below in the description. Anyway, the 3100 mAh battery powering the OnePlus One does a stellar job. Despite all the intensive testing, I had no issues getting through a full day on a single charge. To put that into numbers, on a looping video playback test, the One lasted for about 11 hours before running out of juice. Good stuff from OnePlus. Now we get to the camera. First off, the UI. The UI is very simplistic and easy to use. Just swipe for a bunch of filters and different shooting modes. The settings menu is a translucent overlay on top of the viewfinder. Again, most options here are self-explanatory. You also get to shoot 4K video, and the One is the first device to actually shoot at 4K DCI. 4K DCI is wider, meaning 4096 pixels wide instead of 3840. Another thing of note here is that though the viewfinder fills up when you select 13 megapixel pictures, it is still 4:3 pictures that you end up shooting. To shoot widescreen pictures, you need to drop the resolution down to 9.7 megapixels. Now let's get to the actual pictures themselves. Pictures are generally pretty sharp and retain ample detail. Colors are natural. There are a few minor issues with exposure, but that's nitpicking. So moving past that, low light images were also better than expected. The front-facing 5 megapixel shooter does better than other lower resolution front cameras, but I wish it had a wider angle lens. Once again, that's nitpicking. So moving past that, we now get to the software. The OnePlus One runs on CyanogenMod 11s that's custom built for it. If you aren't familiar with CyanogenMod, it's basically stock Android with a few modifications that I dare say make the Google experience better. Well, you could flash CyanogenMod onto a lot of devices. There are some exclusives for the OnePlus One here, like for example the lock screen. It blurs the background and you get notifications on this bar here. Swipe down to get your home screen. Alternatively, you could swipe from the right to jump into the camera. CyanogenMod also gets you features like double tapping the screen to wake or gestures to jump directly into apps. You can also double tap the status bar to turn the display off. Overall, there are tons of customization options here. You can change the tiles and the layout in quick settings, and even choose if you want to retain the capacitive keys or go with on-screen keys instead. Choose on-screen keys and you can now even customize that further. And on top of that, CyanogenMod has a theme engine built into it. This lets you change everything from the wallpapers to the icons to the fonts to even boot animations and the general style of the UI. You have a ton of CyanogenMod themes that are available on the Play Store, and there are quite a few good free ones as well. CyanogenMod also brings with it a bunch of its own apps like the gallery, a file manager, and an audio equalizer called Audio Effects. They work great, and in general I've found them useful. Customizations and apps apart, CyanogenMod 11s on the OnePlus One is really fast and quite stable. Yep, there are some minor bugs like, say for example, the double tap to wake can be a little too overtly sensitive at times. Once or twice I've had music play when the phone was in my pocket, but these are mostly the exception rather than the norm. Overall, the software here feels very fast, apps open up quick with absolutely no lag. So what do we have here? 3 A's. Amazing hardware, awesome software, and an atrociously low price. So what's the catch? That's another A. Availability. As of today, you need to get invited to buy this phone, and invites are really hard to get. Don't believe me? Go down to the comments and see the number of people asking for invites, though I'm clearly gonna say I have no invites to give out. Okay, let me slow that down.
I have no invites to give out.
And people are still gonna be asking for invites. What does that mean? What it means is that while OnePlus have nailed the creating hype with a marketing budget of 0 part, they haven't quite really sorted out the matching demand with supply part. So the question here is, how long are people prepared to wait to never settle? How long before people actually settle for something else, something lesser? Well, that remains to be seen. My verdict here, if you can get your hands on it, the OnePlus One is a killer device that you will most definitely not regret buying. But again, that is if you can get your hands on it. If you don't want to wait for the invites and don't mind paying a little bit extra, I got my OnePlus One from wopmart.com. They ship quick and have decent customer service. I'll leave a link to wopmart.com right below the like button in the description. That's wopmart.com. You can even use the code C4ETech to get $5 off. So with that, I guess it's time to wrap this review up. Hope you guys liked it, hope you found it useful. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up and share it. Remember, sharing is caring. And caring is what makes you a better human. So become a better human today, share this video, and also do hit that subscribe button down below. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye now.